Okay, so caught you with your mouth full. It's not very often you get a double like you were getting on this one.
No.
Both of us. 2 for the price of 1. Mr. and Mrs. T.
Having a little chat.
Having a little chat. Looks like somebody's having a bit of a munch.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Listen, anyway, cheers everybody.
Cheers. Got my hair out.
Bit of a different journey coming up for us. So, we thought we would both come in front of the camera, Mr. T, Mrs. T, and tell you what's going on. Because we need to let you know. Loads of people are saying, what's happening? Where are you? Where's your cooking videos? Where's your caravanning videos? Where's your holiday videos? And to be quite honest, we've been a little bit quiet. Bit busy. So we thought we'd come and tell you about the new journey for Tintenta, Mr. and Mrs. T.
Do you want me to take over then?
Go on then.
Okay.
And there he goes. Jack and Ori, Jack and
Shut
Ori.
up. Right, so, you know the cruise we were on, back in whenever it was, the last cruise we went, you all saw the lovely...
End of March,
That's
beginning
right.
of April,
That's
when we
right.
went transatlantic
Yep,
on P&O Britannia.
yep. Lovely
Was
cruise.
it Britannia?
No.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it
Britannia, yeah.
I tell you what,
God, so much has happened since then.
It's only been 10 weeks since then, but there you go. So we were coming across the transatlantic, and I was probably about midway. I mean, we'd had sort of like a couple of days, Antigua and St. Kitts, and then we unexpectedly did another day at sea, and then we were sort of like halfway across the Atlantic. So
Oh, you got an hour to.
oh, shut
to
up!
listen
No.
to this.
Anyway, I need you know
Okay,
when
sorry,
John
sorry,
Lennon died,
sorry. Yes, you're
and when
set.
Elvis died. You
What?
Well, you know where you were, don't you, when these things
But
happened?
you're not dead.
No, I know, but you know what I'm saying. It's one of those moments where you know where you are when you found out.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, I was crossing the transatlantic. It was about 3 days in, and I was having a shower. Stop it. I was having a shower, and I noticed a lump in my left breast.
Yeah. I call it lumpy now. Sorry if that sounds crass, but
Well, it's the way of our dealing with it, isn't
Yeah.
it? So anyway, he's otherwise known though as Monty the Mass.
Monty the Mass.
Yeah, anyway, so I sort of said to Mr. T, hey, come and have a feel. Because he usually likes to have a bit of a feel, but anyway, that's another story. So he came and had a bit of a feel, and he said, ooh, that feels like a little bit of a lump. And I went, yeah. So we've lost a lot of weight recently and everything, so perhaps it's just fatty tissue or something. So I'll go get it checked out when I get home. Anyway, so we got home, and then it was a couple of weeks before I
Forgot
started...
all about it, didn't we?
Well, I sort of did.
As you do.
Well, you did.
I
Because
did, I
I
forgot
didn't
about
mention
it,
it again. I didn't mention it again. And then I thought, okay, I better go and get it checked out. So I went to see the doctor. Well, a lovely nurse practitioner at the doctor's surgery who said, yeah, okay, let's look at this and let's perhaps fast track you to the hospital. So that's what she did. She fast tracked me to the hospital. And after it was about 2.5 weeks, so they were very, very quick.
Yep.
So I didn't have too long to wait. They put me. I had the appointment at the breast clinic. So within a couple of days, I got the appointment, and then I had to wait another 2 weeks to get to the breast clinic. So you came with me, didn't you?
I did.
Of course you did. And
Why wouldn't I?
Exactly. So then we thought we'd sort of vlog this journey for you because some people just don't know what happens when you go to these things. So switch off now if you're not bothered. Of course you're bothered. Anyway, so the first thing I went to see the consultant. Consultant said I'm going to run a few tests. He had a bit of a feel as well. They always have like a feel these. Anyway, never mind.
Well, they have to, don't they?
Well, I know they do. And then they had a few tests. So then I went in for a mammogram, came sat in the reception, and then I went for an ultrasound, and that's where I sort of left you for about half an hour, and you wondered what was going on,
Well, it
didn't
was
you?
nearly an hour actually.
Was
I
it
think.
nearly an
Yeah,
hour?
I think
Anyway,
so. Yeah.
so I went in for the ultrasound, and the sonographer said that she'd looked at the mammogram and she'd seen something a bit weird in this breast, in the right breast, and she said, of course, she saw Monty the Mass in the left breast, and then she said I saw an abnormal lymph node as well. She said, so I'm going to take a look at that. It's got a bit of a tail on it. So she...
Oh, right in thinking lymph nodes are normally about that big,
I think so,
about
this
the
one-
size of a thumbnail.
I don't know.
But this one was like that,
Well,
wasn't it?
Well, at the
I
moment
think
it
you were
feels about
saying-
this big.
Yeah,
so
but I mean, that in perspective, they were saying
I
it
don't
was.
think it was that big. I
Wasn't
think
it?
it just had a tail on it.
Okay.
God,
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, that's how you described it.
well, exactly. It's about this big at the moment. It's got arms and legs and everything. Anyway, so then I think that was the point when I realised, hang on a minute here, something might be wrong, because you know, you sit there and you think, I've got a little bit of a lump and I think it might be a fatty tissue, and then they come in and they say, oh, I've got this and this, and I'm going to take biopsies here and now. And I was like, here and now? I wasn't expecting that. And she said yes. So she took the biopsies, and they're like this clicker thing, and they stick clicker, they sort of just they put it, they do a radio sonography, what's it called?
Scan.
Yeah, what's the word called though? An infra.
I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute.
Yeah, okay, that scan, like you have a baby scan.
Yeah.
In
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound, thank you. So they do the ultrasound to find out where it is, and then they get the clicker, and then they sort of ultrasound it to hold it over there, and then they get this clicker, and then there's like shard goes in.
That takes the biopsy out.
It goes in and it goes out,
Yeah.
and then after they finish that and they make sure they've got whatever they've got. I didn't look, by the way, but I could hear the clicking, and she was telling me exactly what was going on. And then after they do that, what they do is they then insert this tiny little titanium marker, or tag as they call it, and they say that you know, if you ended up sort of with, you know, breast cancer and they ended up with surgery or whatever, they'd take the mass away and the titanium tag away as well. But if you don't, if it's benign, it'll stay in you. So if you ever have a mammogram in the future, the mammogram will be able to see that it's already been biopsied, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
stops them double worrying
sorting,
or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So anyway, consultant went to see the consultant.
Well, no, you came
yeah.
back after about an hour,
Yeah.
and that's when you said to me they found
And
three
three
areas
areas
of
of concern. That's
and
right.
they've already taken the biopsy.
Yeah, which shocked you as well.
And I think that's when we realised we were in trouble.
Well, I was a bit worried. I was still a bit worried. Well, you might have been really in trouble by
I
then,
knew
but
you.
yeah, well, okay. Anyway,
And we were
Enough.
in trouble then.
Anyway, so when we went back in to see the consultant, and the consultant sort of said, he said, I don't have any evidence, he said, to tell you that you have breast cancer. He said, because the biopsies will be the evidence that I need to tell you have breast cancer. He said, but, you know, it's very much looking that way. So we asked him in all different ways, so are you telling me I've got breast cancer then? And he said, can't, as I told you before, I can't tell you because I have no evidence. He said, however, looking at all of the tests that I've done so far, he said, I can tell you that I would be very surprised if you came to see me in 2 weeks' time, and they already had the appointment booked, and the face-to-face appointment. I would be very surprised if in 2 weeks' time you were to come here and I was to tell you that you didn't have breast cancer. So we had a few tears, didn't we? I came out and had a bit of a cuddle, and it's like, oh, okay. Wasn't expecting to hear that. Now, as you can see, I'm pretty pragmatic about it at the moment.
We've got over the
shock.
the
Well,
shock of it. And, yeah.
It is a shock moment, and we were going to.
It was, excuse my French, but it was fucking awful. And I know, don't get me wrong, I know millions of people, millions of women have gone through this and will go through this.
And men as well. they
And
go
are
through breast
going through
cancer.
this now.
Yeah.
And we're no different.
No.
We are no different. But and we said this, haven't we? This is the sort of thing that happened to other people. We've got friends that have got it, had it, and we think, you know, how awful ever it is, you try and support them. But when this hits you, it's
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't
the
it?
whole world just.
And you hear the word cancer and you
disintegrates.
think, ooh, to be honest with you, it's only starting to sink in at the moment that I have cancer.
But I think, you know, breast cancer now, everybody's a lot more positive than they used to be. But what we've got to still find out about
Oh, right, yeah. So this
is
the
whether
next
or
bit.
not
It's spread anywhere.
it's spread because it's gone through this lymph node.
Yeah. So anyway, so we went away and we had to wait for 2 weeks, and then we went back and. Well, first of all, he took us into the nice room with the nice plush seats rather than his waiting
you
room,
knew
and
it was bad news.
I just looked at him and I laughed by that stage, and I said, so we're in the bad news room, are we? And he was actually very good, and he said, I'd just like to perhaps look at it as different news, he said, rather than the bad news room. So he was really quite sweet, wasn't he?
They were very good.
So he told me all about it, and he said that I've got this lump in my left breast, on the side of my left breast, just around about here. And he said, this one's benign. So the right one, positive, this one's benign.
That's a good one. That's a good lump.
I got a good one here.
We got a good lump.
And then the left breast, it's about 2.5 to 3 centimetres big. What's this all about? Is this like your 6 inches normally? You know. Anyway, 2.5 to 3 centimetres. Sorry, question. So, 2.5 to 3 centimetres, and it's grade 3. And apparently, grading on cancers are 1 to 3, with 1 being the least aggressive and 3 being the most aggressive.
And please, if you're in the same position as us, we're not trying to diagnose you.
No.
We're not helping you to diagnose. We're not helping to self-diagnose.
No.
We're only going through what we understand
and every single,
and have led to believe and have been told.
Yeah, and every cancer
might not be right. I don't know.
No.
We're
still
very early
processing.
in this journey.
We're still processing. So we thought, right, we'll tell you as we go along, and things might make sense as we go along.
I'm gonna have a dip.
Okay. So anyway, so this is, but the positive news is that there are 3 different types of receptors, I think it is, that cancer, I don't know what it is, but I'll explain. So there's the first one that is estrogen, which basically, if you have an estrogen one, it's the good one.
But it's also a very aggressive cancer.
Yeah, but
And that's what you've got.
That's what the grade 3 is. What I've got is a grade 3. But the receptors in your body will tell them, you know, the team that deals with your care, whether or not it's treatable or something. Estrogen is the one where it says there's an estrogen, there's a HER2 or something, and then there's a triple block or triple lock or something like that. The triple lock's the bad one, because basically nothing tablets wise will stop it from growing. So you literally got to have the chemo and everything else to get rid of it. The middle one is something else, can't remember, but I've got the one that's estrogen fed, which means that, and this is the positive bit, which means that once you cut it out, if you then feed me an estrogen blocker for the rest of my life, or however long it takes, I will not produce estrogen, so therefore it won't feed the cancer. So that's good. So that'll be sort of like pills for afterwards, to stop any estrogen production, which is great. Fantastic.
But that's providing
what?
It hasn't spread.
But yeah, but that's sort of later. We don't really know about it yet. So one thing that this particular hospital said was that they were going to just remove all the lymph nodes. And then I was at risk of lymphedema and stuff in this arm. So I'm very, very lucky because I've got bupa with work. So I contacted bupa, and I also heard of a very good surgeon specifically for breast cancer, for breast surgery that I want to go to. So yeah, I'm going to ask for a second opinion basically, because I want to see if we can investigate the lymph nodes a little bit more before they just cut them out of me.
I mean, that's not a second opinion. Has she got it or hasn't she got it?
No.
That's more of a.
How much of me do we have
fast,
to?
I think it's a bit of a fast track to get treatment done.
Yeah.
And also find out more options that are open to you, rather than the second opinion.
It's not even really the fast track, apart from the fact that I've asked for my care to be transferred to another hospital, so it's going to take a couple of weeks, and I can't wait. I can't sit around and wait. I need something to sort out. So I've actually booked an appointment with the surgeon that I want, and then the surgeon can go and talk to the care team, and they can sort it out amongst themselves. But the lymph nodes, I want to be able to talk to him about doing a little bit more investigation, because apparently they might be able to put some dye into the lymph nodes and look at it to see if they can see that there might be more affected or not, because that's all to do with the staging. Apparently, if there's stage 1 to 5 or 4 cancer. What stage 1 to 4 or 5 cancer? I don't think they talk very much about stage 5, because I think that might be the end.
But you've got a grade 3.
I've got a grade 3 aggressive lump.
That's not a stage.
No, it's not a stage, no. So I don't know what the staging is at the moment. The staging comes once they look at the lymph nodes to find out. If you've only got one lymph node, for instance, that's infected with cancer, it's a stage 1. They can whip that out and everything's fine and it won't go anywhere else. But the lymph system is like a filter system and a drainage system for your body, which means that you know, it might have filtered through to the next level of lymph nodes, which might have infected more lymph nodes, which means then it could possibly be a stage 2. This is what I'm not a doctor, I don't understand, I don't really know, I can't tell you, but this is my understanding, and this is
You're
the reason.
Googling.
And I'm also talking to people that sort of tell me half a story, as it were.
All right.
So they don't want to tell me the full story because they don't want to alarm me. I can understand that. But, you know, I'm just trying to work out in my own mind because I need to have the facts, or as much as I can work out from the facts. So anyway, but then it goes to stage 3 if more of your lymph nodes are done, and then if it goes to somewhere else in your body, then it metastasizes or something, and that's what they call a stage 3, a stage 4. So, but I'm not even going there yet. We're not there in the journey at all. We're nowhere near it. All we are at the moment is knowing that we've got to cut this out, and we've got to definitely have radiotherapy because a lumpectomy.
That's a given.
Yeah, a lumpectomy or a mastoplasty or something, which is a slightly bigger operation, but this will make you laugh. Okay, so if I have a lumpectomy, they would cut it. Oh, hang on. I'm not going to show you my breast. Don't get me wrong. They would cut it down here, and then they would go like that to pull it together, which means the nipple would go west, and we don't want that necessarily. The mastoplasty.
Match your eyes.
Thanks. The mastoplasty would go this way, and then they would do something here, which would then point it straight forward again. So that's cool. I mean, I think I'd go for the bigger one if I needed to.
Is that where they move the nipple?
They move the nipple to make sure it points forward, because we can't have a west-facing nipple, can we? No. Anyway. To be honest, if it saved my life, I don't give a damn what it does. But I mean, they can cut the whole lot off for all I care. You know, I'm not precious about these things. So yeah. But hey. So once I've had that surgery, it's definitely got to be blasted with radiotherapy, and then that is considered a mastectomy in the modern mastectomy sort of thing.
But then, I'm sorry, I'm the one that keeps coming back saying then and. The rest all is on what's happening with the lymph nodes.
Yep.
And whether or not it's gone any further.
Yeah.
And that's when they will tell us A, if it's gone any further and where it is, and B, whether we go chemo or not.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where we are in our journey at the moment.
We all keep you up to date. You know us, we like to share everything we've got, warts and all. We are not doing it to become super vloggers. We're doing it because we do get messages saying, Mr. and Mrs. T, where are you? Is everything okay? We haven't seen you for so long. You know, you were so good at this, or, you know, you used to make us laugh at doing that. We are still here, but unfortunately we've had
a bit of bad news.
We've had a bit of a direction in our life that we've had to change. But that doesn't mean to say that we're going to stop. Once we've worked out what we're doing with our life, we will start coming back and doing all the things that we used to do and more.
Yeah.
And this lady, bless you, will be sitting beside me.
Oh God, I will. I ain't leaving you yet.
Well,
You're not getting rid of me that easy.
so there we go.
I'm full of life, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No, not really. If you've got any questions, by all means ask. You know, so I'm not a guru on all of this, but you know, if you've got any questions at all about anything, anytime, just ask.
And if you've been through it as well,
Yes.
then let us know, because
Yes.
it's not just us you're telling it about.
No.
It's everybody else in the comments, because everybody else reads the comments. So if you've gone through it and you've got some advice or tips or links or anything like that you can share with us. It's not just us you're sharing it with, it's other people that come along and look at those comments, or just anything really.
Well, my thought process on that as well is, you know, if oh God, what was I going to say? See, just menopausal brain, I can't think anyway. Yeah, so as you said, it's not just me. I like to also understand that it's not just me. So yeah, please let me know if you're going through it as well. You know, we can be a support service for each
Or
other.
have been through it
Yeah.
and you come out the other end,
That would
because
be
that
great.
is just as important to us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, to other people that
Yeah.
read the comments.
Absolutely.
You're right.
I'm fine, I had something in my eye.
Oh, okay. Right then. That's it from us. It's a lovely sunny day.
It's beautiful
The
here.
trees are rustling in the breeze. We've got a couple of
Well, actually yours is empty. I need
mine's
another one
empty
now.
now. A couple of glasses of pink fizz. And that's it. I'm not going to say I hope you've enjoyed it, because it's not the sort of video you've enjoyed. But if you want to follow the journey, and that is, I just hate that expression, follow our journey. Well, I suppose it is a journey, isn't it?
Well, let's put it this way: we were in one direction, we're now going in another for a little while.
we're,
Slight diversion.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a roller coaster with cancer on our back, I
Yeah.
think, which is fair to say.
Yeah, I think so.
It's in the backpack and it's travelling along with us. But hopefully,
Well, it's in my front pack actually. It's travelling along with me, but hey.
only in one pack, not in the two. But yeah, please, if you want to follow us, please hit subscribe and follow.
And I've done my nails pink as well.
I've got a feeling everything's going to be pink now.
Yeah, I've got pink.
Even my underwear, as she washes them with her red tops. But that's another vlog. I bet you're looking forward to that one, aren't you? Anyway, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.
Love
Hit
you
that
all.
red button. Love you all. Stay safe and speak to you all soon. Bye for
later.
now.
Bye.